Hey guys, my name's Andre and I'm a guitar player. I'm going to be talking a bit today about fingerstyle technique, kind of 3 levels of learning for how we play fingerstyle guitar and learn songs in the fingerstyle genre of guitar. If you're not already familiar, fingerstyle guitar is where we're playing something like what I just played. That was Isn't She Lovely by Stevie Wonder. And we're accompanying ourselves, playing the melody, playing the chords, and sometimes even playing the bass as well, all on the one instrument. It can be a big task for guitarists to kind of take on, playing a whole band's worth of music. But anyone at any level can play it and break it down into simpler parts. Today I'll use the song House of the Rising Sun as a little bit of a template for us to kind of map our strategies for learning fingerstyle guitar onto. The first of 3 levels that we break it down into is learning the chords and the melody. This is the most fundamental and most important step in learning any fingerstyle song. So in this case, I'll go through the chords for House of the Rising Sun first, just strumming them twice per bar. House of the Rising Sun is A minor, C major, D major, F major, A minor, C major, and E dominant 7th. Back to the top, A minor, C major, D major, F major, A minor, E7, and back to the A minor. So what we want to do to start our fingerstyle arrangement is get really comfortable with those chords. Luckily, for this song, all of them lie in the kind of open position of the guitar, except for our F major chord. Now, F major can be a tricky one because usually we play it with the full bar. This one, we're only playing kind of the top half of the chord from the D string up. And it lets us not have a big clunky figure like this with our whole hand occupied. So just the top 4 notes of our F major. Now, we get really comfortable with those chords in those positions and changing between them, getting a good feel for them. And the next step is to learn our melody for the song as well. In this case, the melody for House of the Rising Sun is nice and simple. It goes like this. Nothing too complicated, and it's all notes that come out of those chords that we just played. Now, the next step is to get our right hand moving around a little bit more, because knowing the chords is all well and good, but if we're just sat here strumming along, that's not going to get us into that fingerstyle zone. So what we want to do is just start by arpeggiating the chords with our fingers. Now, what I mean by that is simply using each finger on our right hand for one string and rolling through them like this. And we want to go up and come back. Let's do that through all of the chords. So that's getting our right hand working a little bit harder and building up finger independence, which is really important when we start getting into the higher levels of this kind of playing. Now, once we've accomplished all that, the next step is to move on to tier 2 of our fingerstyle playing, developing it. A big part of fingerstyle guitar is using the thumb of our right hand to take control of the bass notes. The function of, you want to imagine your thumb being kind of the bass player and the drum kit of your guitar. It's holding down the rhythm and keeping the lower notes nice and simple so that the chords on top sound really nice. So what we want to do, we're going to keep our hand in the same shapes for all of those A minors, Cs, Ds, Fs, and so on throughout the song. And all we're going to do is we're going to play the bottom 2 notes of every chord. just with our thumb. And we're going to play each one, we're going to play 4 notes for each chord. So going through like this, we've got our A minor, C major, D major, F major, A minor, C major, E7, A minor, C major, D major, F major, A minor, E7, A minor. Now what that's doing is it's developing a really good sense of rhythm in our thumb. No matter what happens when we're playing a fingerstyle song, our thumb has to keep chugging away and playing that rhythm the whole time, because that's what gives it, it's like a train going along, gives it a sense of continuity throughout the song. We can practice that for ages and ages, just going through the song, holding down those bass notes. But eventually that starts to get a little bit boring. So what we need to do is add in the chords as well. How we do that is we can use our other fingers that are completely unoccupied because our thumb is doing all the work. We can use those to pluck the notes of the chords that we're not playing with the bass notes. So going through, if we just pluck once at the start of every bar for each chord, then we get it sounding something like this combined with the bass notes. Already it starts to sound a little bit like the song. There's only one component missing that we have to work in for our fingerstyle arrangement of this song. Again, you can practice that for hours and hours and hours, and then eventually you're going to want to add in the melody, and that brings us to level number 3 of our fingerstyle playing, is adding in the melody of the song that we're playing and combining it with those bass notes and even the chords further down the track. Once we've practiced using our thumb for those bass notes on the chords and practicing our melody, we can kind of map out a way to play those two together. Now, like we were talking about before, our thumb is taking all of the bass notes and our other fingers are going to be responsible for all of the melody notes. We get it sounding something like this. So it's not super complicated for us to piece all of those together. Once we've practiced those parts appropriately, it all comes together really nicely in a fingerstyle arrangement. Now, that was a pretty straightforward, no frills or anything version of the song, but as we develop those skills and as we get a little bit further in, we can start adding more stuff, embellishments, different rhythms with our thumb, playing different bass notes, and it can become a really, really cool arrangement. I'll play us out with a little embellished full arrangement of House of the Rising Sun. But remember, you can play it at any of those 3 levels. Let's give it a go. Thanks very much.